One.
What up? What up? We back like the Juggernaut. Mitch, segment number 2 of our podcast for tonight. Those of you who are still hanging in there with us, who are checking us out live, we appreciate you. For our YouTube folks, make sure you check out our first video that will be uploaded later today. All right, so our next topic. Twitch boss says the future is set-top boxes and not consoles, according to IGN. Both Sony and Microsoft will have to take cues from the mobile gaming market if they hope to survive, according to Twitch boss. Now, Nelson had put that article on our Facebook page where we generate our topics, and my thoughts on this is there might be a possibility to this, because I see a future of console games or future of consoles in general where maybe they need to stop making like set consoles and make them where they're upgradable. Take out a hard drive, take out a GPU, put another processor in there. But then again, if they do go that route, what would set it apart from PCs? So nothing. There you go. So I think that's interesting. But Nelson's yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Oh, no, I'll say when it's my turn. You go ahead.
No, it's your turn now.
All right. Well, if they make it really easy to swap out parts, like go full modular mode where there's no screws, you just hit a release, pull your GPU out, slide a new one in without having to open the box. Mm-hmm. I expect there may be a future in specialized computers that double as consoles. But unless they come up with a way to make that easy, I know the early Steam boxes were trying to mess around with that, but I don't think there was any success with it. And now they're just set-top boxes, just closed mini computers that you can put anywhere, which any enthusiast has been doing for quite a few years. My brother has his whole house set up where the Xboxes are the cable boxes in, and everything's controlled with a server in the basement.
Yeah, I remember you when we went to Micro Center. I'm like, how did Brian do that? That's freaking awesome! Like the Xbox 360s are cable boxes, and he has that set up in the.
Well, you got to see his classic gaming setup in the basement. He has, I think, 10 classic consoles in there.
You know what? Ask him if we could do like a little video.
Well, he's got other issues, but that's not for the podcast.
Oh, I got you.
But so
shout out to Brian.
If they can make it really easy and to swap out parts, I suspect there may be a future, especially if they're affordable.
Yeah.
But you do have to. There is a certain level of user skill that has to go up with this, because you have to be aware of what parts you have. You're gonna have easy naming conventions.
Yeah.
And so that people are aware, okay, I don't have this chip, I need this chip, I need this much RAM. I need, this GPU, I need this, that, and the other thing. I have these.
And
5
for consoles, it would end up being like a proprietary thing. And I think that would either drive the cost up or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's going to be a hard road for that to succeed. I think you're going to start seeing smaller, smart computers if they ever get quantum computing down, which I think they're not close to it, but it's going to be on the horizon within our lifetimes, where you just have super tiny computers that are ridiculously powerful. You won't need full customizable PCs. You'll just get, my computer's broken, let me just go to the store and buy another one. And you don't care what the speeds are or anything, because at that point, any software that's out is easily handled by whatever's out there.
Okay. Demizzle, what are your thoughts?
I don't think set-top boxes are the future because, alright, in terms of console gaming, when you make a game, you're pretty much dealing with universal specs. Okay, Sony's console has this, and Microsoft's console has this, and Nintendo's console has this, so you know exactly what you're dealing with, and your target audience has the same specs across the board, so you don't have to worry about, do we have to make a minimum? Do we have to allot for this type of graphical processor? Do we have to allot for this amount of RAM? Do we have to allot for this CPU processor? It's the same. You don't run into that problem with console gaming like you do with PC gaming because
it's simple. It's simple. The box is there. You get what you get.
Yeah, you get what you get. And the life cycle, even though the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 had the longest console life cycles in history of 9 and 10 years respectively, a console's life cycle is usually 5 to 6 years. So you're not running into the problems that you ran into with the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, where you're working on essentially antiquated hardware for a long period of time. Even though consoles are behind PCs in terms of raw horsepower,
no matter what they do, they'll always be behind because they'll get the tech, at a certain time, and by the time the consoles come out, the PC's already jumped.
Yeah, they didn't need the raw power though because they were specialized machines. They didn't have to do everything.
Yes,
exactly. And like in a normal console life cycle, in that 5 to 6 year life cycle, even though a console is very outdated in terms of PC, it's not that far outdated as compared to an Xbox 360 versus a PlayStation 3 versus a modern PC at the end of that 10-year life cycle. Like an Xbox 360 and a PlayStation 3 is fucking ancient in terms of computer life cycle stuff. So I don't see set-top boxes being the future of gaming. If anything, I see cloud gaming being the future of gaming because internet speeds are constantly going up in the United States. Like you can do cloud gaming in places like Japan and Western Europe because the internet is part of the infrastructure, like 10 times better internet than we do. But I digress. I do see it being the future of gaming because we're gonna have here's like a box with 8 terabytes worth of hard drive space and a really powerful processor, and you're just gonna be able to download whatever off the internet, and it's just gonna be instant. So that's where I see gaming going.
But you see, the only reason why I wouldn't want it to go there, let's say whatever server those games are held on, and it goes down, then you're completely cut off to your shit. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing I'm afraid of. Like for instance, let's say Warcraft, right? And Arnie's he was the big Warcraft advocate for the group. But let's say the server go down, you can't play the game. All
right, but look at this. I'll put it in perspective where we are right now. Xbox Live has 50,000 servers. How often has Xbox Live gone down completely? Like 100% down offline. You can't get on. Like Xbox Live has had intermittent and never gone down fully to the point where you can't access anything.
Well, when the whole DDoS thing on Christmas, the DDoS thing, people couldn't get everything, but it was jacked up.
Yeah, it was still up. Like you could still access some stuff. Not everything was down. And with time, you're gonna see companies adding more and more server farms to the point where it's gonna take a massive attack for it to bring it down. So that's where the beauty in cloud gaming is gonna lie, and that servers are gonna be so plentiful that it's never gonna be truly down. Even if like a portion on the East Coast is down, you still have that redundant west and then south, and on the west back you up where you can get your stuff.
Okay. So for the sake of time, Nelson, your thoughts?
My thoughts about this, I mean, it could be a possible thing in the future, depending on how the approach they take it. Because there was also other people mentioning, like, why don't you just make it like the same usage as like a smartphone or a tablet, where let's say you have like the Xbox One, it's set at 500 gigs, right? It comes with a certain particular processor, you're able to store this amount of games on it, and then they might make it so like they have like upgradable or different plans that you can feature for, like, okay, you can get this Xbox for $20 more and it'll be a terabyte, or spend a certain amount of money to get it for 2 terabytes and
but
get
you see,
it for
the
something
problem
like
with that, Nelson, sometimes that splits markets. You know, like I remember, who was it that said that? I think it was either Review Tech or Angry Joe. They're talking about when you have different models like that can, you know, let's say only one model can run a game or something. You're gonna start splitting the markets into so many things. And Demizzle made a good point some time back. Like, you want the set-top box, it is what it is. That's what everybody can get access to.
No, I understand that, but like they should make it so like you have like the casual gamer, which is the current console that we have now, right? And then you will have like the hardcore gamer that knows how to deal with, like, let's say if you know how to use programming and you know how to use like the I don't know what the hell you would
the
call it.
SDKs and stuff.
Yeah, like the dev kits, and you know how to like get into that.
You know what, Demizzle, do you remember when Microsoft released the Xbox 360 Live Arcade version, and then you had the other one with the bigger hard drive and all that? You know, like, is that what you're trying to lead to, Nelson?
Yeah, I guess
But
in a
you had-
sense.
You had the special port of those. You can't just go into the store and buy the dev kit version.
Yeah, like, oh, yeah.
No, I understand that,
What power.
but there should just be something like that, so it gives like the person like, okay, I'm making my money's worth for getting a potentially stronger version of the console, and I know how to fuck with it, and I can do whatever I want to my heart's content because, you know, I know what I'm doing. So they can do that. Same thing like with cell phone markets. Like, you have people who casually buy a phone. It comes with 8 gigs. But then, like, the hardcore smartphone user will be like, nah, fuck that. I'm going to get 32 gigs and optimize my hard drive usage to the max. And you have things like the same thing with, like, the tablets. People are getting, like, different tabs, like the Microsoft Surface, which is, like, the ideal tablet for right now. Or you get, like, the Samsung tablet that's out that can play, like, 1080p gaming and all this other crazy. You know, there's different things for certain people, so...
Okay.
I mean, it might be an idea, it's depending how they go about it, but as of right now, what we have, the system is not bad. Like, the structure, you know?
But, you see, there's going to be a renaissance when it comes to the consoles, online gaming. We're on the verge of some change. Right now, we're in that little limbo. Like, you know, they're trying to test things to see what, you know, the consumers will allow these companies to charge. And, you know, you got the Steam box, you know, you got the freaking Nvidia Shield, you got all these, you know, crazy things coming out. We only know, I mean, leave your comments below, those who are checking on YouTube. And I mean, the future has a lot of potential for some drastic changes, you know. But with that, we're gonna wrap up this segment. For those of you checking us out live, just sit through the intermissions where we're adding extra content, extra topics that you won't get on YouTube. All right. So for our YouTube folks, make sure you check out our segments, and, you know, rate, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on newgamingorder.com, and we'll see you on the next segment. Peace.